Today, we're talking all about branding because branding is more than just fonts and colors. Branding is an experience. It's what creates customer loyalty. So it's your logo, your fonts, your colors, your brand voice, all of the aesthetics that make up your brand. So if you're just starting out, then you've clicked on the correct video because we're going to go into the basics of branding in today's video. Hola, and welcome to the channel. My name is Betsy from Betsy Lugo Creative, and I am here showing you all of my tips, tricks, and resources so that you can build a Shopify store that you are proud of. Now let's jump into today's video and let's build your brand together. So we're going to start off with naming your business because I know that this is the part where a lot of people get hung up, including myself. That's why I ended up just naming the business after myself because I couldn't figure it out. So I get it. I've been there. I completely understand. So let's break it up into 5 parts, okay? So the first one is simplicity is key, right? So keep it very simple. Let's not overcomplicate this naming process. The second one is clarity over cleverness. Okay, so focus on being clear than trying to get too clever with the name, and then people don't know who you are and might not want to click on your website. They don't know what it is, right? So they might not do that. So I'd rather you keep it clear of what your name is and ensure that the name reflects your business. The third is consider longevity, right? So think about your business long term. So the name of your business long term, right? You don't want to call it something that's too trendy within today's trend words, right? Because you don't know what that is going to be in 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. And also your brand will evolve just like we evolve. Your brand will also evolve, and you don't want to kind of just box yourself in. The fourth is incorporating keywords. If you can incorporate a niche specific keyword in your business name, cherry on top, right? Because when people are searching for keywords that are specific to your industry and your keyword is in your name and it's all over your website, guess what? You're going to be on the top search engines, whether they're using Google or Bing or Yahoo or whatever they're using. You will be on the top of that search because that keyword is everywhere. Okay. All right. And then the fifth is name generating. I'm going to show you how to use some name generators to help you brainstorm some names. Let's jump into the computer. So here's a great business name generator, and I will list more resources in the description below. So go ahead and check those out. But for here, the name generator, this is a great website for you to be able to brainstorm. As it says here, keyword, as I just mentioned before, keep using keywords. It's really helpful with search. Let's go ahead and just do pet accessories. And as you can see from here, you can say how many characters you want. So if you want the name to be short, you can shorten this up here. And then here you can have more filters. So generate business names by abstract ideas, and then also here by industry. Let's see what we get. All right, so here are the results. So we have here invented names. So it breaks it up for you. So these are the names that it kind of thinks that it invented. All right, so you can come through here and see and jot down any names that you might like. Then you come down here, we have compound names. So here are several good examples. So zip accessories, that was pretty generic. That, you know, that doesn't have to be specifically for pets. But air pet, Pet King is a good option there. So that's good. So you can just jot down these and help you brainstorm some ideas, or you could just take it just as is, right? And the check availability, you can check to see if that domain is taken. Then we have come down here, we have some multi-word names. So we have dog stars. I'm assuming if you have a pet store that it'll tailor to more than just dogs. You have dogs, cats, fish. So that might not be the best one, but animals in handbags, that's pretty cool. That's clever, right? Depending on what you want to sell. So again, I would use the key words in your name. So for here, pets or animals or those keywords I would incorporate into the name. If you have some type of, as I said before, I think I said fitness, you can use fitness in the name. So fitness for moms or busy mom fitness or something to that effect, right? So you're using the keywords that is niche specific in the name should you wish to. You don't have to do that, but that is like general what I would advise. I hope Looka is a good resource for you and that it'll help you brainstorm your new business name. Now we're going to talk about brand and your brand voice and your brand tone. And it's like, what is that? I don't know what that is. Okay. So the brand voice and your brand tone is how you communicate with your customers, how you are going to connect, right? So it is how you speak, how your personality of your brand, right? So how do you speak on your website? How is it that you express yourself on social media? What is the tone and the voice in which you're going to communicate via email, right? So are you going to be a brand that is inspirational? Are you going to be a brand that is very professional? Are you going to be a brand that is humorous, right? How are you going to communicate with your customers? How do you want to make your customers feel when they interact with any piece of your content? So keep in mind, if you take a look at some of your favorite brands, right? What are these brands inspire in its customers? Do they make them feel beautiful when they're shopping? Do they make them feel motivated and inspired? Do they feel like they need to take action? That is what brand voice and tone do for the brand. I've also included resources in the description below on Brand Architect so that you can deep dive more into this. So now let's dig into the brand colors, your brand font. Let's do a brand kit. We're going to use Canva and we're going to use Pinterest. Now, before we continue, I just want to take a moment now to apologize how I'm speaking. I've gotten over a cold and I am trying my best to get through this talking video because all I want to do is just cough up a storm. So I apologize. All right, let's head over to Canva and let's head over to Pinterest. So Pinterest is a wonderful resource for design. Okay, so what you want to do is you come over, oh, those are my pins. I don't want to do that. But what you want to come over here and just type in brand kit. All right, and you will find already professionally made brand kits by other designers, brand strategists, right? So this has already been done for you. And so you can use some of these brand kits. Now, some of them here are for sale. So you just have to look for one that is free. So you can always like see Fiverr, you know that one is they're going to charge you for that one. But you can maybe come in to find other ones like this one here. So Emma Crawford. So this is a beautiful brand kit right here. These are beautiful colors. So what emotion do you want to evoke in your customers? Because that's what colors do. I'll put in the resource below some color therapy and some color wheel so that it can help you as far as selecting colors for your brand. Okay, but these are really soft, beautiful colors. You can use this for a children's website. You can use this for moms only website. So this a really pretty color palette. You can use this for teenagers possibly. So if you click on here, sometimes it takes you to the designer's website where you can take a look at the brand kit just a little bit better, and they'll give you sometimes information about why they chose this brand, why the colors and things like that. So to get you a little bit more familiar with what color therapy is and what it does. Okay, so if you really love this one, so that you can use, if you see here, you'll see that the hex colors are included for these colors. So the hex colors is the color that you're going to use in Canva to input those colors, right? So that's what those hex color, that's what that number is the identifier for that color. And then here, I believe it's really small, but I think those are the names of the fonts as well that they are providing. You can also find color kits here in Canva as well. If you click on color kit, you'll have some templates here. So you can also use these brand kits for your brand. Okay, so let's go ahead and go with this one. I like this one. So let's go ahead and customize this one. And so what is a brand kit? You might have seen this before. So brand kit is a document where you will input all of the brand colors, your brand fonts, some images, perhaps images already from your website, but images that evoke the feeling for your brand. And then, of course, the different logos that are needed for a brand. Okay, so that is what a brand kit contains. And so that's what this is here. So if you feel inspired, you can use this brand, borrow some of these colors. If you are just starting out, I would say stick to 3 to 5 colors. That would be a nice amount of color palette for you to start off with. I will really suggest 3. For you beginners. If you're not designers, I will tell you to stick with 3, but 3 to 5 is perfectly okay. So let's say perhaps these 2 colors look kind of similar. So let's go ahead and just delete that one. And then perhaps maybe I want a darker color. So maybe this color, or perhaps actually this color, I might want this color to be a little bit more dark. So if you just click right in here, you can just go ahead and make that just a little bit darker. And you can just play around with it right here. I think that looks really, really good there, right? And so we can just grab all of these. I want them right there, and I just want to make this just a little bit bigger there. And there we go. So that could be your 5 colors there. And as far as your fonts, you can use this as a springboard for the types of fonts that you want to create for your brand. So as you can see here, this is the Seasons brand. And they're mixing it with a signature font. So if you click on the font here and you come right over here, you'll see that in Canva, all of the fonts are categorized. So you can click on handwritten. And if you don't like this one, you can certainly come here in Canva and look for another handwritten font. If you like handwritten fonts, that would go with the Seasons font that is right here. The only thing that I would tell you to do is with these fonts, before you have your heart is set on any font here, which I recommend for you to have two fonts, is make sure that if you're using Shopify, that these fonts are available on Shopify. Otherwise, you're going to fall in love with these fonts and then they're not available on Shopify. But of course, you can always purchase a custom font. So you can always, let's say you fall in love with this Amsterdam. I know Amsterdam, you can purchase Amsterdam at Creative Market. So you can just purchase a license. Actually, the previous video that I just did last week is how to purchase a font. So take a look at that video so that you purchase the correct font. But you can purchase a font and upload that if you really like the way that these 2 fonts look together. So let's go. We can go ahead and adjust that here and see how is it that you like those fonts. As well, you can come over here under the text, and there are font combinations here that Canva has already created for you. So you can go ahead and take these font combinations and use these already because you know they were already created by a designer. So let's ungroup this one. So here, this font is Prada, and then this font is Josephine Sands. So these 2 fonts together look really nice. These 2 could be your font, okay? So you could use these here, and there are a lot of other font combinations, and I'll leave resources for you in the description down below. The description down below is going to have loads of resources for you for this video. So how you could use these colors is the light color would be your background color, the dark color you would use as your font, and then those other colors will be your accent colors, and you would use those as your buttons and any other links or anything like that that uses accent colors on your website, specifically on Shopify. Now, once you have decided what your colors are going to be and what your fonts are going to be, you can add them to your brand here in Canva. So if you're using the free Canva, I believe they let you have 3 colors in your color palette. So here's my color palette. So I have the Pro, so I'm able to add a lot more colors to my color palette. But you can do at least 3 for sure that I know. But if you decide that you want 5 colors, just jot them down somewhere and just keep them on your computer so that so they're easy to find when you're designing. Okay, and the same thing with your fonts. Once you decide what the 2 fonts that you want one font will be for your heading and the other font will be for the rest of the content on your website. So you can do the same thing. You can upload them here and add them to your brand. That way, when you're working here in Canva, everything will be easily accessible to you. So for example, if I click on this color here and I come right over here, you'll see that my brand is right here. So I can easily choose any one of my colors here. Okay, and the same thing with the font. If I click on here and I click on my font here, my brand fonts are right here. These are the 3 fonts that I use. Canva makes it really easy for you to have access to your branding right within Canva. Now, lastly, let's create a logo in Canva to wrap it all up. So now let's go back to the home and let's type in right here and then just click on logo and press enter. So here you have tons and tons of logos that you can use. Now, of course, if you're using the free Canva, just note that you cannot use the ones that have the little crown. So you can find any other one here. There's lots of selections for the free Canva and for the pro. So you just look for the one that grabs your attention, that you really gravitate to. All right, and use that as your base for creating your design. So I really like this Olivia Wilson. If you click on it right there, as I did, you'll come to this page here. Will also give you more options that are just like this one. So if you come down here, you'll see that these are more similar to that specific logo. So let's go ahead. I love the simplicity of that one. So let's go ahead and customize this template here. What you can do, if you are familiar with Canva and creating Canva already, you know that you cannot use any Canva template as is. You do have to change it up to make it your own. Now, also with that in mind, please note that any logo that you create in Canva, such as any of these templates that you use, even though you're changing it up, it is still not your design. And so if you get attached to it and later on your business starts to grow and you start to expand, you cannot trademark a logo that was made from a Canva template. Okay, trademarks are only issued to original works of art. I just want you to know that so that you could just use Canva and Canva templates to just get you started. I don't want you to sit and, it be months and years before you start your business because you don't have the funds to hire someone to create a logo for you. But know that you can use this to start. And then once you start to grow, which I know you will, then you can hire a designer to create a custom logo for you, which then later on in the future, should you want to trademark, that you can do so with no problems. For purposes of this video, we're going to keep the logo as is. Now, one thing that you would need to do is your logo should always be in a transparent background. So if you have Canva Pro, you can certainly do that by clicking on here. When you're done, you click on download, keep a PNG and then transparent background. But if you have the Canva free, you cannot remove the background. You can't make it transparent. So what will happen is that it'll download just like this square with this cream color. Now, when you download it and you try to remove the cream color of the background and it doesn't quite remove it cleanly, another alternative that you can do is come back into the design here and then just make this bigger and make it fill the box. The box makes more sense to be part of the logo. That really wouldn't work for a design like this one here, where it's a circle. I think that will look a little bit odd, but kind of just giving you options here. When you're just starting out, you gotta kind of just use what you've got, right? Okay. I hope that now you see that when you put all of it together, your brand voice, your brand tone, your logos, your colors, your fonts, that this all together creates a customer experience. It allows you to be consistent no matter where you are, for that brand recognition that we all want. I hope that you take advantage of all of the resources. They're all in the description down below. And as I said, this was a basic branding tutorial, but if you want to deep dive and go into all of the nitty-gritty, let me know in the comments below and I will love to create that video for you. Until next time, my friends, adios.